Hello, I'm Jasmine Jack with Midday News. Shadow Minister for Civil Aviation and Transport, Sam Basil Jr., has reminded his counterpart, Minister Walter Schneubelt, that more guarantees need to be given by the National Airport Corporation and his office regarding the reopened Meni Airport. Basil made these comments in light of the government reopening Meni Airport recently after 6 years of closure. Basil said while NAC and the Southern Highlands provincial government have worked over the years to redevelop the airport premises, they still need accountability from NAC about their failure to ensure the safety of the Air Niugini asset. Prime Minister James Marape has urged the people of PNG to shift from the mentality of dependency to self-reliance. Marape made this call at the recent launch of the Nipa Kutubu District Development Plan.
Prime Minister James Marape has called on the people of PNG to stop the mentality of expecting money and claiming compensation from projects and road construction. Speaking at the launch of the Nipa Kutubu 5-year development plan in Nipa last Friday, the Prime Minister emphasized the short-term benefit of such expectations, noting that the money they get will be for short-term use and services will still be lacking. Marape discouraged the constituents from approaching their local leaders for unnecessary financial aid. The Prime Minister also highlighted the strategic focus of all district plans, aligning with the national development agenda, and gave the assurance that the national government will support the districts and fund their plans. He concluded by emphasizing the importance of accountability and local economic growth. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
PNG has one of the lowest rates of financial inclusion in the world, with the vast majority of the people not having a bank account. Minister assisting Prime Minister on Treasury Matter, Ian Staki, explained that some of this is due to PNG's extraordinary terrain, the massive mountain chains, and islands spread over vast distances. However, he said part of the problem is our financial regulations and how they applied. These domestic regulations need to include the international financial rules designed to slow down criminal syndicates by stop money laundering. These international rules are also designed to help stop financing terrorists. Staki said we need to better understand these international rules and their application in PNG so that more of our people can get access to banking and payment system. In regional news, living in smog-filled cities can feel stifling. But there's a place in Australia where the air is so clean, it's considered among the purest in the world. On the far northwestern tip of Tasmania sits Kanakook, Cape Grim. Winds blowing in from the wild southwest brings air that's free from pollution. So scientists use the site to monitor the planet's baseline atmosphere. And they're now embarking on a new project to unlock a mystery in the Southern Ocean that could further help in understanding the impact of climate change. The move by the Asian Development Bank to promote itself as Climate Bank for Asia-Pacific region has been welcomed by its 14 Pacific developing member states. And the Pacific DMCs have collectively challenged the ADB to ensure that practical fit-for-purpose policies are in place for small island developing states. Speaking on behalf of all the PMDCs, Samoa's Minister for Finance and ADB Governor Lautimuia Uelese Vai thanked the bank's leadership for spearheading collaboration with the Green Climate Fund for a specific allocation for Pacific countries that will complement the Asian Development Fund in financing country and regional development. In February 2024 this year, the Pacific witnessed the devastation, the spring tides on low-lying atolls. Governor Vai said seawater intrusion and an increase in soil salinity exacerbate threatened food security, which requires government to stretch limited resources to address these issues. Women with disabilities in Australia are scared they'll be left behind by government plans to address violence against women. Despite being particularly at risk, while those fleeing a violent partner will be eligible for a $5,000 assistance payment, that doesn't apply to those trying to escape a carer or family member.
Women with a disability are nearly twice as likely to face sexual and physical abuse. And while those fleeing a violent partner are eligible for the $5,000 payment, that doesn't actually apply to those who are trying to escape a carer or a family member. That's something President of People with Disability Australia, Marape Jonkers, says is a massive problem.
That's where violence or sexual assault is happening from caregivers. They may not be your intimate partner, but you're trapped in there and don't have a way to escape.
Despite these calls, the government says it's not going to expand eligibility. So we asked the Social Services Minister, Amanda Rishworth, what exactly women with disabilities being abused by a carer or a family member should do.
There is obviously the complaints, if this is a carer registered with the NDIS, there's quality and safeguards avenues there for someone with a disability. Obviously there are other avenues through Centrelink for crisis payments, but in a case where someone with a disability was being abused by a paid carer, for example, then they should get in touch with the NDIS Safeguards Commission.
While many NDIS participants do use paid carers, not all of those who use these services are on the NDIS. President of Women with Disabilities Australia, Karen Swift, says for many it's not as simple as going to complain to the NDIS Safeguards Commissioner or to Centrelink. She says many wouldn't even know where to start or would be prevented from doing so. Her organisation wants the government to urgently expand eligibility for this payment so that women amongst those most at risk can actually access it. Less than half of those who applied for the government's Escaping Violence payment were successful in actually getting the funding, with 23% deemed ineligible, 7% still waiting for an answer, and 33% not completing the process.
Back home, the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary recently received a substantial boost in infrastructure and resources during a handover ceremony at Killa Barracks. Minister for State Enterprises William Duma presented the RPNGC with a new 2-bedroom quadruplex and a fully equipped Toyota Land Cruiser.
The handover of vital infrastructure to police at Killa Barracks was attended by key figures, including the Minister of Police Peter Siamalili Jr., Minister for Foreign Affairs Justin Kichenko, Minister for State Enterprises William Duma, did the official handover of the assets on behalf of PNG Dataco Limited. The new quadruplex accommodation and Toyota Land Cruiser are part of PNG Dataco Limited's commitment under its Corporate Social Responsibility Program, aiming to enhance community services and support the constabulary's efforts in maintaining security. The construction of the quadruplex was a collaboration between PNG Dataco Limited and Havis Construction, costing around 1.2 million kina. The Toyota Land Cruiser, equipped with dash cams and GPS trackers, is valued at approximately 240,000 kina and will be used to monitor and secure critical digital infrastructure. Minister for State Enterprises William Duma highlighted the ongoing partnership between the RPNGC and PNG Dataco Limited, which has facilitated significant telecommunication infrastructure developments, including housing cable landing stations for submarine cable systems at the barracks. This collaboration has been instrumental in extending fiber optic and satellite connectivity to 70% of districts across the country, with plans to expand further under the Marape government's digital plan. The handover symbolizes a step forward in strengthening national security and digital connectivity, reinforcing the government's commitment to developing a digital economy and ensuring affordable, high-quality ICT services throughout Papua New Guinea. Kaokiru Jr., TVWAN News.
In sports, the PNG Hunters have registered their first away win in the Host Plus Cup competition 2024, running riot over Townsville Blackhawks 52-16. This massive win on Sunday at the Jack Mansky Oval Townsville is certainly a big boost to the Paul Ayton-coached Hunters. At halftime, the Hunters led 24-16, while Ntaoloy scored 2 tries and Alex Max got a hat-trick, adding to Hunters' big win, with kicker Jamie Mavoko improving his kicking game with a conversion rate of 8 out of 9. Hunters came back in the second half, firing to romp home with a convincing win. This Saturday, the Hunters take on Northern Pride in Port Moresby. And that's been the news update. More to come at 6. Bye now.